Hi there, Miranda Alt here with Keller Williams Success Real Estate and the Miranda Alt team with your Monday market update for Monday, November 11th, 2024. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to all of our veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day. Let's take a quick look at our Montgomery County numbers for the last 7 days. We had 106 new listings. We had 122 go under contract, so more under contract than newly listed. That's a nice change of pace for us here in the real estate world. 95 closed sales, 71 price changes. That's a lot of price changes. 5 expireds and 24 currently on the private network. So looking at these numbers, we can see what the trends are, where our trends are headed for right now. We have less homes going on market, more going under contract, which is a nice surprise. Lots of price changes and not a lot of closed sales. So we've talked about this before, where we will have only about 3.8 million homes sold this year nationwide, which is a significant decrease since 2021. In 2021, we sold 6.1 million homes nationwide, so a far cry from that. Significantly down. Obviously, less transactions happening, less people wanting to sell their homes. Locked in at low interest rates seems to be the common theme. Also, lack of inventory. So all of these issues are causing people to not buy homes in this market. So let's dissect this a little bit. The Federal Reserve did cut the interest rate, the prime rate, 25 basis points last week. We have not seen a reaction from the mortgage market yet. Now keep in mind that is the Fed funds rate. That is not the mortgage rate. Many people think that when the Feds cut the rates, that means mortgage rates will come down, and they are not directly correlated. They are correlated, but not directly. And we have not seen interest rates come down as a response to that cut yet. Many people are still hopeful that we will, but something that I've been mentioning to my clients is, well, what if they don't? What if interest rates don't come down? There are some people on NBC News. I read a report this morning that said, or an article that said they referenced the fact that rates have been above 6% for 2 years now. And is this the new normal? Is 6% just where we're going to hover, where we're going to be for the foreseeable future? And that is certainly in the cards. The Feds can only control so much. We did have President Trump elected again on Tuesday. He will take office in January. And one of the things that he is proposing is tariffs on imported goods, which would cause some goods to go up in price, not down. And I know that he wants mortgage rates to come down, which would be great. But the only way that the federal government really has the ability to do that is by buying down the rates themselves, having the U.S. government be a buyer of mortgage-backed securities, which is what happened during COVID in 2020. The U.S. government became the largest buyer of mortgage-backed securities, where normally that is China. And so they artificially bought the rates down. So if they were to do that again, obviously that is something that they could do to buy the rates down, but who knows if they're going to do that yet. As of right now, all we know is that interest rates went up through the month of October. Consistently every week they were going up. They are now, it's hard to quote rates because what everybody gets, the rate that you will get is dependent upon your credit score and your debt to income ratio, among other things. So therefore, to quote an actual rate is always hard, but they're in the mid 6s right now. That's what Fannie Mae is lending at. And most people are getting around 7%-ish. Right now is the rate that most people are getting. We've had some inflation reports coming in higher than expected. Inflation appears to be about 2.7% right now. The Feds would like it at 2%. So they're in this dance right now where they're trying to not cause inflation to go up, but to also encourage spending and not send us into a recession. And that is a very delicate balancing act. And so how the Federal Reserve tries to handle that is by these small rate cuts. They are anticipating doing yet another rate cut in 2025, but nothing has been set in stone, obviously, yet as far as that goes. So landing us at a point where our economy can be strong, not sending us into a recession, but getting inflation under control is very difficult. I'm glad that's not my job. My job is to educate you on the real estate market. So what is happening with inflation, and with inflation holding steady around 2.6%, interest rates are going up or staying the same, certainly not coming down like we were hoping. So what the heck, how is this all playing out? Well, We are seeing an upward trend in inventory. It's marginal, but we are seeing an upward trend, at least here in Montgomery County. Now, again, you can't talk about national housing markets because they're all different and different things are affecting people differently in different markets. So here we are seeing an upward trend. Now, overall for all of MRED, which is the Midwest region's data pooling system, we have 1.4 months in Crystal Lake. That is up 16%. Again, a fair and balanced market is between 4 and 6 months inventory. Anything below 4 months inventory is a seller's market. Anything over 6 months inventory is a buyer's market. We've been in a seller's market for a very long time. 1.4 months inventory in Crystal Lake, 1.1 months inventory in Cary, 1.5 months inventory in Algonquin, and 2.1 months inventory in Huntley. All of those are increased. That is more inventory than we have had in months past. So that's a good thing. We're getting a little bit more inventory. Now, a spin on this is that over 500,000, so any listings over 500,000, we have 3 months supply in Crystal Lake. So significantly more available over the $500,000 mark. 1.6 months supply in Cary over 500,000. 2.7 months supply in Algonquin, and 5.2 months supply in Huntley. That is a 116% increase year over year in Huntley only. Now, but in Crystal Lake, 3 months inventory is still a significant increase. So if you're looking at over $500,000 homes, you might be in a little bit better of a fair and balanced market. Not totally fair, that would be 4 months inventory, but certainly more of a fair and balanced market over that 500,000 mark if that is where you're looking to buy or sell. Market time is relatively unchanged across the board. It's about 30 days in the MRED as a whole, and it's about 45 days over that $500,000 mark, but that is about the same as it's been. Now, you've also got the homes over $500,000. The sale price and the average percent of the original list price that it is selling at is now 98.1%. So on a $600,000 home, that's about $588,000. So some of those homes over $500,000 are seeing lower accepted prices. Now, prior to 2022, in 2021, 2022, we saw most homes were selling at over 100% of their original list price. And so that is coming down in those higher prices. The median sales price across the board in the Chicagoland area is still $320,000. So that is going relatively unchanged. So we're seeing prices really holding steady, but we are starting to see some more inventory and we are starting to see some more price reductions, even though prices overall are holding right about the same place they've been. So the winter and fall markets are pose a little bit of an interesting situation for buyers and sellers. So most people think, oh, nobody wants to move in the winter. And that's not true. Remember, the reason that people move is because of life events, births, more babies born, people dying, people getting divorced, people getting job transfers. All of those things create a need for a move. So people don't move because of interest rates, they refinance because of interest rates. They move because of life events. So we are seeing those things still happen over the winter. Now, people who just want to move because they want to upsize or downsize, those happen far less frequently in the winter. But in the winter, you have more motivated buyers and sellers. People who are in the market now are more motivated than those that are in the spring and summer. Now, as a buyer, it might be a really good time for you to buy because sellers might be more motivated and there are less buyers in the market, so you might be able to get a better deal. You might be able to get a home sale contingency accepted. I know I've talked to my buyers that have to sell their home in order to buy a next home, and I'm telling them, gosh, if you could find something over the winter, your likelihood of getting a home sale contingency is far higher now than it will be in the spring when you've got a lot more competition from other buyers. So that's one thing. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're a seller, and let's say you're a snowbird or you're somebody that's gone, south for the winter or whatever, you've got carrying costs. And so as a buyer, you might be able to get some of those sellers to give you a rate buy down or more incentives in terms of a better, more favorable deal for you as a buyer. As a seller, You're going to not worry about having your home over the winter when we can have things that go wrong. Furnaces go out, pipes burst. We got lots of snow removal to worry about. Things in a home tend to break over the winter. So therefore, if you're a seller, it might be a good time to sell so that you don't have to worry about some of those things. If you're a buyer, you might be able to have some more favorable terms that might come to you as a result of that. So there's reasons why people would want to transact during the winter, and there's a reason why I don't just go on vacation for 4 months. So we do still have buyers and sellers looking to transact this time of year, and there are some good reasons why. Here's another thing to think about. If you're a seller and you have your home on the market right now, and we're anticipating that rates could go down more, or they might stay the same, we just don't know, in 2025, who's to say that there's not going to be more competition in the market in March? So if you've got to unload a home and you want to sell, there might actually be more homes on the market in the spring. There will be more homes on the market in the spring, and therefore more competition. So if you have maybe a home that needs some updating or needs some things done, you might be better off trying to sell your home in this market when there's less to choose from. So as a buyer and a seller, there's a reason why people do transact during this time of year. And there's a lot of people out there that think that nobody buys or sells a home in the winter, and that's just not true. So we do still work over the winter months, and there are some reasons, some good reasons why to get involved in the market right now. So if you've got more questions about that, or if I can help you with your specific situation, please don't ever hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. I'm at 815-529-0777 or Miranda at MirandaAltTeam.com. Have a great rest of your Monday. And again, happy Veterans Day. Bye-bye.